Hello and welcome to a preview of the new Suebian faction released today with the Lost Roman DLC. I haven't gotten the DLC yet, but this is free DLC. I don't think I will be getting the Lost Roman DLC, and you can probably imagine why. Now, what I thought I'd do here is I'll just talk a bit about the unique units to the Suebian roster, since they have an essential Germanic roster. And of course we will do some testing with these new units, but I like to be thorough with testing. So first I'm just going to give an impression based on the stats of the new units, where they fit into the roster and such. And then after some play testing, I'll give a more comprehensive review. So this is going to be the preview, and we're going to be looking at the units on the battlefield as well. So the generals option, we have the Germanic Nobles and the Suevi Nobles, a unique cavalry unit. They are a very good offensive cavalry unit if they can join a fight. They will not like getting hit head on by shock cavalry and heavy cavalry units, since they are only medium. They have a very good bonus against enemy cavalry. Their melee attack is sort of decent. Their melee damage they have a decent spear. Very good charge bonus for melee cavalry, and they have their armor is a bit lackluster, but their health is great. Their morale is so. They scare, and they have precursors, and they actually have 7 precursor ammo. No Parthian shot, but this unit can definitely do some damage if it manages to use its precursors and then join an ongoing fight. Then we have another unique unit, the Suebi Oath Takers. These are, it would be fair to compare them to the Germanic Spearmasters, because the Germanic Spearmasters cost exactly the same. And although the Suebi Oath Takers look more heavily armored, they are in fact not. They both have 58 armor, a bit more health on the Suebi Oath Takers. The morale is very comparable, so their precursors and abilities exactly the same, but the melee attack on the Germanic Spearmasters is higher. And the charge bonus is slightly higher for the Suebi Oath Takers. So Suebi Oath Takers, in my opinion, very much a flavor unit. Elite Spears have a very questionable utility in competitive multiplayer. And then we have the Suevi Champions. And the Suevi Champions sort of fit in between the... Whoa, I got a bit of a glitch there. Maybe you saw it as well. The Suevi Champions fit sort of between the Noble Germanic Swordsmen and the Noble Suebi Swordsmen. Now, Noble Suebi Swordsmen are absolute beasts. However, very expensive, very low charge, die to cavalry. Then we have the Suevi Champions, and 112 health, 64 armor, so they are fairly sturdy. Their morale is good. They will not rout off the field. They are a raider, which doesn't matter much for multiplayer, but they do have guerrilla deployment, and that is something quite unique for an elite infantry sword unit with heavy armor. So decent melee defense, decent charge, good melee attack, your standard 40 damage sword. So overall a decent unit. It remains to be seen how it fares against other units of similar price, but it's expensive for what it does, in my opinion, but that's not to say it can't be an effective unit. Then we have the Suevi Warriors, and the Suevi Warriors make me a bit happy because they have high melee attack. Their melee defense is low, but they have good armor and good health. So this is an axe unit that is both very heavy and that has some fairly decent defensive stats, some good holding power. Morale isn't great, but it's decent at least. Now here you see something interesting in the encyclopedia again. The encyclopedia isn't very updated. I imagine that these units are supposed to be able to they have their bonus against infantry on their axis. I haven't checked it yet, but I assume this is why this is a preview, not a review. So let's have a look at the units on the actual battlefield here, because this is, from what I can see, these are the unique units. The Royal Suebi Cavalry is already in place. The Vandals have it, and yep, looks like these are the unique units for the Suebians we're going to be taking a look at. And I haven't, this is the first time I see them myself, so I'm a bit curious to see how they look. Alright, so snowy battlefield here. And I forgot to say it, but these Suevi Warriors, they also have guerrilla deployment, so that opens up for some potentially interesting tactics. The Suevi Warriors, very heavy axe infantry, look quite cool. Suevi Champions, very nice shield design, but you can see that their skins are Viking rip-offs. Over here as well, same with the Suebi Oath Takers. And the Suevi Nobles, also a decent looking unit with... I think they did something right with the shields this time. Yeah, the shields look very good. So that's it. I think I'm going to try a battle or two with the Suebians and do some testing. We'll see how these new units and how the new Suebians fare against various opponents. Strength and honor.